Hello, hello, hello. Welcome to another episode of I Must Ask You a Question with Jen and James. Jen, great to see you. We've been playing podcast tag where you're in one show, I'm gone, and vice versa.
It's true. It's take care of my dad, who's now in his 30s.
Are you holding up okay? Everything like under the circumstances?
Absolutely. And I think we've turned a corner, so now it's just he has to get his energy back and have to get him walking and all those other kinds of things. So yeah, it's just
that's great news.
It's crazy. Oh yeah, and I feel like now the nursing staff is also family because we've been up there so often with them. Mm-hmm. They see us morning, noon, and night. And they're so sweet. They'll let us, even though sometimes there's a bunch of us in the room and there was only supposed to be two, you're just kind of like, ignore it.
Turn the other, yeah. Mm-hmm. Oh, I'm so sorry that
we're getting older, James. It's only a matter of time.
I know.
Do these fun things too.
My mom's almost 80 and my dad is in his 80s. So yeah, it's one of those things. If life goes the way it's supposed to, we're all going to go through it, unfortunately. And yeah, not looking forward to that time. I'm very close to my family as well. And not fun. So, well, I'm glad to hear that he turned the corner. That's fantastic. Are you in the new podcast room at the shop?
Yeah. You like it?
That's awesome.
Crazy
I like it.
That's an actual background. This is not a green screen. I actually have giant stop sign.
Did you hear a rumor? I heard this rumor. I'm not sure if it's true. Maybe people can let me know in the chat. But stop signs with white borders, is it true those are optional?
Huh.
The answer is no. That's a joke that I had. I almost failed my learner's permit because I was making a joke to the instructor. All stop signs have white borders. So he didn't find it very funny when I said that. So luckily, I was able to charm him out of not failing me for saying that. But yeah, I like to use that. I'm a dad, so that's a dad joke. I think that's it's a quality dad joke.
I know that there's these kind of tests out there that they say they want to kind of test how much you really know logos of brands that you love. Like you might think Scout Comics' logo by heart, but if you put up Scout Comics logo with the O with a hole in the middle of it, and this one and a couple other versions of it are just slightly off, sometimes people can't catch it, which is weird because they did it with the Apple logo where they had the apple bite out of the other side, the stem facing a different way, and those kinds of things that it had little dimples at the bottom like a regular apple does or not. And it was almost impossible for people to actually pick the right one, which is kind of interesting looks at the everyday objects that we see every day.
Yeah. I bet
whether you actually recall it.
Coca-Cola would be an interesting one with that cursive.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's cool. No, I swear I've seen that before. Now you're gonna have me researching it in the time that I literally don't have. I've done 3 podcasts already today.
Oh my gosh. I have to say, we have a big shout out. LaShawn's on and Abigail.
Oh, LaShawn.
All awesome people.
Awesome. LaShawn, and stay tuned for news with LaShawn about particular book that she's been working on for many months. So a little hint. So yes, we have a lot of cool things. So there's going to be some multimedia news that drops pretty soon. I can't reveal it now, so sorry to tease, but just be on the lookout. Probably in the next few days. I want to so bad, so bad. But a lot of stuff. I went on vacation to Colorado for a week with my wife. It was a Christmas present that I got her. Our bucket list was to go to Red Rocks to see a show.
Oh,
because it's famous. I'm a big U2 fan, and they had a live album back in the, I believe it was in the mid '80s, live at Red Rocks, and I got to experience. We both did. We exercised. We're big exercise kind of fanatics. We got to run. The bleachers, not straight up. We you run to one end, you run to the other as you go up, almost like a snake.
Zigzag?
Yeah, like a zigzag. It's about 2 miles. Beautiful, middle of June. I'm in Florida. It's usually 100 degrees out here. There it was 70 and sunny. Well, by the time we got to the top, the clouds came in and it was now 50 and it started hailing.
So like Colorado?
Yeah, it was like, "What?" And it was like someone was shooting with a paintball gun, like, on machine gun blast.
Mhm.
And we were just sitting under this, like, little pavilion because there's it's a big open area amphitheater. There's not a lot of shady parts.
Mhm.
We were there for, like, 40 minutes, freezing, we were both in tank tops, and we're like, "Oh my gosh, like, Colorado is something else." But
Mhm.
anyways, that was terrible weather, and we were supposed to see, like, a Marley, tribute concert not well, 75th tribute concert with his sons,
Mhm.
and, it got lightninged out, and it was, like, pouring rain in the 40
No.
low 40s, and it was just like, "Yeah, we're gonna maybe come back and see
Mhm.
another time." So, but it was great. I needed a recharge. I'm sure you need a recharge now after everything.
Well, I mean, my favorite kinds of vacations, I used to think they were like to go somewhere like the city and do shopping and that kind of stuff, and that is kind of fun.
Mhm.
But as I've gotten older, more and more I like what you and your wife do like to do, which is like I like going somewhere like if we go to Hawaii, I like to go to the big island where it's less developed and there's like the thing that you do is go hiking and
Oh,
those
yeah.
kinds of things, more natural things. Like there's something about getting away and just kind of like re-embracing just regular nature.
I 100% agree. We went to, like, St. Mary's Glacier. We went rafting, which I'm a huge whitewater rafting fan, and that was the first time I've hit, like, it was the Arkansas River, but they were, like, class 4 and 5s, which are, like, the biggest.
Scary.
Yeah, it was pretty intense, and we had to wear wetsuits because it was super cold, obviously, but man,
Mhm.
I love yeah, to recharge away from things, especially in technology, like how we rely on it so much, guilty as charged.
Mhm.
If you guys are listening to us or watching us, you as well are guilty.
Yeah, all the time.
But yes, it's nice to do that. I'm gonna have another one. We're planning a trip in August up to the Georgia mountains, which is like my home away from home, and looking forward to that too. But we've been so
Marco.
busy. We've been doing just all kinds of stuff. Yes, Marco, good to see you, buddy. Marco, for those you don't know, has two books with us, King Jera and Pentagram of Horror, and hopefully more to come of both titles and also additional titles. But he is such an incredible artist. If you guys haven't seen his work, I mean, it's breathtaking. He is incredible. He's one of the many talented creators that we work with at Scout and all our affiliate imprints. He's just amazing. So shout
Yeah,
out to Marco.
yeah. Follow Marco on. I follow him on Facebook because I'm old, but
Me too. I like
there's some
Facebook.
really good live like drawing stuff. Just like he was drawing with something the other day I've never even heard about. It looked like a little piece of plastic, but he says it's a piece of metal. Looks just
Wow. Yeah, I've never heard of that. That's awesome.
going to Costco is a vacation idea, Michael. I love it.
Where is Michael? Michael usually joins us. Oh, well, we miss you, Michael.
Michael S is only typing.
Well, one thing I told Michael I would let him know. This has been, I want to say 5, 6, 7, 8 years in the running. Patty and Laz, Michael's first comic book.
Mhm.
Oops, I'm going the wrong way. This is the ash can we just got in. It's not available for sale yet, but this is incredible. The artwork is just for those of you like manga style. I think my own personal manga encyclopedia is Michael, but we'll be releasing a press release on that soon. So excited about it. I believe in that project so much. Like when Michael years ago shared me the script and the ideas and the spin-offs, he's an extremely talented individual, and I'm very excited that the world's this is just the start of something so epic in my opinion. So yeah, stay tuned for Patty and Laz coming soon.
You guys have got so much in the lineup that is so good. It's kind of gotten to the point where it's like, how do I decide? Or do I have to decide? Do I just say yes, all Scout? Because they're not, it's not like you can say, oh, Scout has got a certain kind of like style or mood or tone or whatever. Like you guys go the whole gambit. So it's not like you
Do
can
you
just say,
like that as a comic shop? Because that's something that we've talked about. Like certain companies have like this is the spot that you get sci-fi, or this is the spot that you get. There he is. This is the spot that you get. Like licensed properties. As a comic shop owner, do you like the fact that we're kind of like a mixture of everything?
yeah, for me, it has not been detrimental at all that you guys have kind of like go the like have a wide
Mhm.
variety of things because I can stand in front of the section now, which by the way is like 40 front-facing titles, I think.
Oh, I'd love to hear that.
Yeah. And it's cool because I can just kind of stand there and say, what kind of other books do you like, or what TV shows do you watch, or those kinds of things. And I can always be like, well, this one's probably something that you would like. It's, to me, I like it better. I understand the draw of stuff that is based on franchise things, but then if that franchise isn't doing great, then you're like kind of stuck with that, right?
Yeah, that's what I always assumed. I mean, we do have some licensed property and some that we're kind of working on, but they're very unique. You know, like Phantom Star Killer, for example, is a perfect example of a licensed property that we have. That, I mean, I thought Peter's rise as Killer Bootlegs, the bootleg toy maker, was just incredible, and it was very parallel to Scout's rise as a small, like, Brendan running it out of his garage to what we are now, scenario. And we were right. Like, that was a huge get for us. And again, Peter's part of our back office staff now and running our collectible company. So yeah, there's unique items that do that. But I love the fact, like, thinking it just from doing so many conventions, right? When I did Solar Flare, not everybody likes sci-fi survival. Some, kids, it's not a kid's book. So now we can offer kids
who are those
stuff.
people even?
Yeah. It's what?
Who are those people even? I don't know those people.
Exactly. So
generally speaking, also hello everyone.
Yes, hello Michael. You are pixelated, Michael.
Am I pixelated? Do I look weird?
You are pixelated, Michael.
Okay.
You might turn into Robot Michael by the day's end. I'm hoping for it.
When was I never Robot Michael? Is the better question.
Oh, now you're getting all existential, man. Woo!
There you go. I've actually been a Cylon this entire time. Yeah.
A Cylon, nice. Oh, speaking of a great series. Oh.
Generally speaking, when we were selecting books, at least initially for Scout, the kind of like the edict that I had was, I'm not looking for like someone who says like, oh, this is just a cool story about a cool place and a cool time with a dark past and dark future. I'm just like, no, you've got to have like a good vision. You've got to have a good sense of where your story is going to go from beginning to end. Mind you, were there a couple of stories that maybe teetered off towards the end? Sure, but you were just always fascinated by them. So generally speaking, while we don't really focus too much on franchises, we tend to stick to stories that stick to you. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
I like that quote. That's a good quote. You should use it as a headline now.
And I remember I used 2 books as examples, right? Like, because we know like certain genres have been done to death, right? And it's almost like, are they too saturated? And one of them was superhero and the other one was zombies. Yeah. I remember I was out in LA with one of our partners, and we were just going to the different distributors and studios, like pitching our books. And I would say that, but it was so funny. At that same time, we got 2 books in the submission queue. That was a superhero book, and that was a zombie book. But what was so interesting, it was a different take on this genre that we feel hadn't been done before. Like our book Rabid World, which was a huge success last year. The second volume's being worked on. Basically, it was the zombie gene, but it only affected animals. It was the rabies virus that transformed. And it's like, man, no one's done that, at least to my knowledge, before. That's amazing. Todd is the creator of it. And then Shit Show, excuse my language, was another one created by Adam Barnhart, and Samir is the artist. And it's like The Boys meets Shameless. What if the Justice League lost that big battle and then became alcoholics and drunks because they were completely just disenfranchised from not winning that battle? And then that evil comes back and they're just not prepared. Like, it was just, I don't know, to me, that's what I love about, even being on the submissions team. It's a multiple person team, is just to see some of these amazing concepts. And again, some of the stuff that we have in the pipeline, like Patty and Laz. Like, I already built up Patty and Laz, Michael. I don't know if you heard.
I did hear. It's Caligula means Jurassic Park.
How did you get that? Did you? I had it.
What? It's almost as if multiple copies were printed at the same time.
Yeah, I thought I had the only one.
Michael has the rare reverse version.
I have the up-down version, Michael. Like,
Jen, where's your copy? What's happening?
No one loves me. No one sent me one.
Well, I know you've ordered some, so I think they should be on the way.
Jen, did you order some? Oh my god!
All the time, you know me. So yesterday during the live review show, I think we coined a new genre. because we were talking about we like post-apocalyptic things, but we wish that there was more of them that started before all of it, right? So you could fall in love with the characters and the world that it was in. So we called it pre-post-apocalyptic.
I like that, pre-post-apocalyptic. I like it. You know what I just read? This is totally not Scout, but I just read it majority over the weekend. For those of you who don't know, I'm a comic fan. I think we all are, right? We can all agree on that.
I've never liked it.
And why I am biased, so is Michael for Scout. Michael. I love reading good comics, and James Tynion is just on fire right now. And I finally got to sit down and start to read The Nice House on a Lake that he did with Black Label with DC. Holy smokes, is that good, ladies and gentlemen? Like, so good. I think there's 9 issues. Do you know more? Like, not to pitch his book, but like, is that an ongoing? I know there's like 9 issues.
If you pay attention to the bar at the top, like the one that came out today, which I think is number 9 or 10, there's only one more symbol at the top. I don't know what the symbols mean, but I always believe that they mean something. But I think there's one more in this series, but I could be wrong.
Man, he is on fire with Department of Truth, Something is Killing the Children, House of Slaughter, Wind. That's another one that doesn't get a lot of play that I really, really enjoy. Michael, you would enjoy that as well. Wind. WYND.
Okay. I was gonna be like, is it just air?
It's great. He's the modern day Bendis, man. That's what I think. Because when I remember, 15 years ago, anything that Bendis would touch would turn to gold, and especially with creator owned. I think that's the biggest. That's when Bendis was working, Powers, like all kinds of stuff. But highly recommend that. You've read it.
Abigail's a fan. Giving him love in the comments.
It is so good. And then I also got to catch up on that Colorado trip I was telling you on By the Horns, which we just released Dark Earth. And I reached out to both Jason and Marcuson, and those are the creators. Yeah. It is so, so good. Have you read that, Jen?
Yes. And it's one of those books that I kind of wondered if it would continue with the same trajectory for fan following past the last series, but it has not slowed down. In fact, it's picking up more, and the back issues that we have continue to be dug through, and I see those just getting pulled out. Like even the variant that we made is like people are starting to
it's a great variant. You mean the CBSN one? That one's so great, where she's standing there with all the different unicorn horns. It is such a great series. It's our saga. There's no question about it. If you like fantasy, it's the world that they're creating. I'm in awe of it. Dark Earth just came out, which is the continuation. I think it's a few months. I haven't read Dark Earth yet, which is crazy.
Yeah, I was going to say I haven't read Dark Earth yet either.
Which is issue 9. We do the legacy numbering because we like doing that, where underneath Dark Horse number 1, there's like a little 9, just, in case you come later to pick it up. But it is such a good series. I'm in love with it. I was in love with it before, but I got to catch up on the 3, 4, and 5, and 6, and 7. Oh, no. I read 3, 4. I got to catch up on 5, 6, 7, and 8. So, and I reread the whole thing in the trade paperback, which, it's collected the first 8 issues, and it's incredible.
All right, I'm gonna turn you guys onto something that I know isn't Scout, but is it's from your friends that you like over at Aftershock. Today, A Calculated Man dropped. And if you watch the movie The Accountant, Ben Affleck and it's the same like mood and tone. The main character is an accountant for one of 2 big mob groups that don't exist in our world. They're totally named something else. And he has a couple of different things going on for him. He has like numbers are colors for him instead. So they kind of like represent that really interestingly. But he also has, I can't remember what the actual term is. I think that there's a famous person that has this also, where if you name a date or time, a date and time, they can tell you exactly where they were, what was playing on the radio, what the people around them were wearing, what the license plate number of the cars they were driving by, all those things. So he has both those things. And the book kind of is like him realizing that if he's the accountant for the place, but he realizes if he's ever going to have a normal life, that is a love life, and have anyone in his life, because he cannot lie. That's his other thing. that he's calculated that the only way around that is just to kill everyone in the organization.
Oh, that sounds awesome.
So down
Who
for
writes
that.
it? Do you know who writes it off the top of your head?
I don't.
Calculating.
A calculated man who has synesthesia,
You sold me.
an
Synesthesia.
eidetic memory, and some form of autism.
Yep, and he's also a heck of a killer. He's brutal.
I need to get this. That's a great way to sell anything.
Yeah, you sold both of us, Jen. And by the way, you sold us on you sold me on the Rogues.
Yeah.
The DC one about oh my gosh, is that an amazing, amazing book. And I
Paul
love
Tobin. Got it.
Paul Tobin. Yeah, he's good. Tobin is good. Yeah, I'm gonna check that out for sure. Thank you for the recommendation.
Yeah, I know you guys like reading the good things.
Yes, the good things, and there's so much good stuff out there.
What's the bit other than the cool ash can you guys have been showing? What is the next release for you guys? You think you're most excited about?
Triskel, which
yeah.
Michael helped edit, that just dropped. That's Stranger Things meets like Chronicles of Narnia. It's so good. That just dropped. There's a couple books that don't get, I think, the recognition that they deserve. It's Broken Eye and Distorted. These two books are just phenomenal. The art on point, the storytelling, like Broken Eye, it's like a spy thriller where this guy has something wrong with his eye, but he can see. He's almost like he can see into the future. What do they call it? Precog?
Precognition, yeah.
Yeah. And
superpower that I always say I want when people ask me what. Because whatever you
in like Ireland.
I already saw that. I'm out the way.
I'm not looking for that. I have too much anxiety for precognition. Just, you're gonna tell me I get to know how messed up my future is gonna be immediately? No. I have gastrointestinal issues already.
Did you, Michael? Did you edit? No. That was Andrea who edited Distorted.
Yeah,
beautiful Italian creators. The artwork, it's like Unbreakable, feeling, X-Men Unbreakable. It's just so well done. We have so many good stuff that's coming out. Like I said earlier with Marco with Pentagram of Horror. We got Playthings, which is the follow-up from the Black Friday crew, John Clark. I mean, it's so eerily scary. And John's artwork, and Travis is the artist of the interiors, but John is the cover artist. Both of them are just on point. I can go on all day about all the stuff that we have. We got, Eternus, which is going to be a big drop. Yeah. And right after this, I have our big San Diego call. And the amount of exclusives and stuff that we have planned for San Diego, Flash Forward by Zach Kaplan, As of the Bar by Pat Shand, Mista Easta by Kit Wallace, who did The Good Boy, with Source Point, which, by the way, like, I think all of us writers feel the same way about Garrett with The Good Boy, is like, oh my gosh, how did he think of it first about, the role reversal of John Wick and the dog?
Oh, it's Dr. Christie. I'm sure that's where it came from.
Oh, it's Christie. Yeah. Like, oh, you guys, brilliant. Tip of the hat. But Kit was the artist on that. But Mista Easta is just, for those of you who remember Johnny the Homicidal Maniac, it's right up your alley. Like,
my favorite thing about Mista Easta is the fact that he has like toxic farts. That's my favorite.
Yes. And Richard Rivera worked really closely with Kit to help kind of edit down and just curate the story with him. But Kit is a hell of a talent, and we have some super cool covers. Like one shop is doing a cover that's like a X-Men 142 Days of Future Past homage. I wish I could share it, but I want them to do the reveal. Richard shared it with me today. I'm like, oh my God, that is the coolest thing.
I've got a variant of that.
Yeah, so a lot of great stuff. I'm sorry that was a long-winded answer, but we have some special things, and we're really ramping up because this year has just it's been a lot of conflict and dealing with like problems like paper shortages and everything, and it's been rough, but we've been persevering, knock on wood, so far. Hopefully there's a light at the end of the tunnel. I do see quite a few lights, so to speak, so knock on wood. But I still love what we do, and shops like you, Jen, are absolutely the best. I wish we could replicate you 1,000 times over.
And we can.
Send them to Space Cadet School.
What was that?
Just send them to
Yes.
Space Cadet
Have
School.
you thought of doing that? Space Cadet Academy? Just do double Academy, like what I did there.
Yes. I'll credit you
Academy
for that.
Academy. And it's about how to run a comic book shop the right way. That's my pitch.
There's a
You
lot
in?
of us out there that are doing it the right way.
There's
I
some.
look up to a lot of other shops too. And a lot of my ideas have come from them, honestly. I got to give mad props to a lot of them. We had a question earlier that someone was interested if Marco was going to be coming to a convention.
Well, he's
with
in
you guys.
Italy. I would love for one day for him to come. I know I got to meet Ralph Singh and Christian. Oh gosh, I always butcher his last name. Domokalansky. He's the inker of Zinneber, Impure, The Recount. And I got to meet them in New York, and they're both Christian's from Chile, and Ralph is from Germany. And it was just great to see them. And I think Christian's come to San Diego. But that's my long-winded answer is, Marco, if you're interested, come down to Florida. We will host you someday. I think it would be fun. Michael still needs to make the trek down to Florida.
I've been asking, and someone's told me nothing about the details.
I know. We gotta plan it out.
It's because I'm a diabetic. I get it.
That's exactly why.
It's the only reason.
It's publicly known.
They don't make insulin in Florida. This is
They don't. It's
I
all
actually would be surprised.
Yeah, insulin Florida is straight up McDonald's vanilla shakes. That's kind of how we roll.
Oh, you don't understand. That's how I die.
Yeah,
Gladly.
you didn't look like you were sad about that.
Not at all. A vanilla milkshake from McDonald's that's on my tombstone. I can't wait. So, is there a question for this Mustachio question show? Because I've been waiting for one. What's our ending question?
I don't know. You guys have one?
No,
Michael,
that's
that's on
you
you.
guys. I came in late.
Wait. All right. So what's okay? Go ahead.
Okay, so here's one. What is your favorite memory from convention you've been to? Whether you've been as like a creator or with your companies or just as a fan, do you have a favorite memory?
I'll tell you the first one that popped out to me. I was doing an interview. I can't remember her name. She was so nice. It was in the show's called Hanging with the Show, and we were sitting down. I had like one of those old the news reporter microphones, and she's like, "All right, how do you say your last name?" And I was like, "Oh, it's Haick like cake." She's like, "Okay, that's easy." All right, so we're all sitting out ready to go. She's like, and then like action. It was like this whole like very professional setup. And she's like, "I'm here with James Cake." And she starts laughing. It was just this huge icebreaker. And it was, I don't know. That one sticks out to me. I just thought it was just amazing. What about you?
Michael, you have one?
Honestly, I think, and this is going to sound really cheesy, it was meeting Haick for the first time.
What?
In person?
We hit it off.
Was it New York or was it in Baltimore?
No, it was definitely New York. It was definitely New York because I was sober then. No, I'm kidding. No, I met.
You're not sober.
Never been. I met James for the first time, and it was just one of the most immediate connections that I had. And I had that with Deneen. I had that with a few other folks, but Haick and I were just joking. He understood my sense of humor. He understood because when you're a writer, you're obsessed with your own story for a lot. So I was doing my best to like pull back and not like overload him with my entire brain. But he was just all for it. And that's when I realized I was just like, man, Comic-Con or conventions in general can just be like the breeding ground for insanity. That is my jam. And he's definitely for it. So an appreciation post for you, but yeah, that was
Thank you, Michael. And I just want to say to go along with what you said is like, you tell me your ideas. I do think you're a genius, and your Patty and Laz stuff. I can't tell you like what you have planned and how thought up and structured it is. And I imagine it's a lot more structured than you even like just you machine gunning it at me. By the way, I took it all in and I enjoy it's great. So I'm glad that I can throw coal on the fire, so to speak, of your creativeness.
I really hope I can do the same thing for just our manga department in general. And I have so many. Oh,
Manga department.
oh my. Oh,
Wow,
wow.
What? What about you, Jen? What's your...
I've got a million billion because I've been going to San Diego for like 22 years in a row, but
awesome.
Probably the one that I thought was the most ridiculous that I got called by IFC, which is a cool independent film channel.
Yeah.
And they wanted to do documentary stuff while at the convention. So I thought they were going to like have a sit down with a microphone, just like hang out and talk. But instead, we arrived at the convention and I met up with the producer and he's like, here's a camera and a microphone and just record everything you do and then bring it back to me at the end of the show. And I was like, it was obviously a very expensive camera. And I was like, you don't know me. But I had the most fun because I was really like, they didn't tell me what to do. So I just did whatever I wanted. And they actually aired it.
Really? That's awesome. So they just gave you this like hugely expensive cat. That's awesome. Is there like links to that? Can you send me a link to that? It's got to be on IFC. They have a YouTube channel
somewhere. It was the year that Snakes on a Plane was a thing, and so it's like interspersed with Snakes on a Plane footage from.
I know we all have to jump. I'll leave everybody with this quick Snakes on a Plane story. There was this website that you could go to, and Samuel L. Jackson recorded different people's names and sayings, where you can put in their phone number, right? And he would call them, and he would do like a scripted thing, and I like pranked all of my friends with it.
Oh, at least I actually did it.
I'd be like, "Yo, Michael, this is Samuel L. Jackson." Oh man, it was awesome. Have you seen Snakes on the like? It just, it's great. Go now, your buddy James. Well, the one it's like so great. I'm on a Google flight now where there's actually snakes on here. Yeah, that's not good. Not good. Not a snake fan. Well, thank you again. Great seeing you both. I guess really until next week. Thank you for joining us, and we'll see everybody next week for another episode of I Must Ask You a Question with Jen, Michael, and James. We'll see you guys soon. Have a great week, everybody.
See ya.